Okay. Hey, what's up, C-Roy? What are we building? We are going to try to set up what's called a PDS, or that's how they refer to it in atproto world. It's basically like a repository that you self-host for all the data that you publish to the app protocol. That's what we're gonna try to do. But first, I gotta fix this stupid obsidian. My obsidian sidebar has 3 sidebars. Let's see. Here. Hey, what's up, D? Nice to see you. You're doing well. Not sure how this got this way, but doing good. Just started work hours and popped in to say, well, thank you. Thank you very much for stopping by, man. It's always very kind of people to do that. Very friendly. I like it. All right. Let's see. Oh, did I not? I must not have. One sec. I don't think I synced over my notes that I took yesterday. Oh, I need to update my shit. Hey, what's up, Cyberlanka? Nice to see you. Did you see they made Omarchi official and started a fund? I did see that. Oma, it was like a non-profit that's supposed to kind of, I guess, be the home of it, which is pretty cool. They got a bunch of well-to-do people to donate like $1 million each. Which is pretty awesome. Okay, now we have. Sorry, I didn't update the title for my stream properly. Okay. I guess neckbeards made them mad enough to build their own thing. I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, that's what Linux is there for, right? That's the whole point of it, is to be freely available for people to make their opinionated version of it, right? So I'm not a user of it, like, I guess yet. I've tried Omarchy 3, but I haven't actually like committed to making a switch or anything. Okay, let's see that sync over my notes. But a lot of people, you know, a lot of people are excited about it, and I think that's wonderful. Let's see, use conflicted. Yeah, use. Oh no, let's use base. There we go. Okay. All right, so what I want to do is I want to set up a Blue Sky PDS in Docker on my own server. I want the server to run behind Nginx. We're also going to proxy through Cloudflare. I'm going to use this as my domain name. We want it to be able to send emails from this account. Yep, and I think I set up some of this already, so just go through here. Let's go ahead and SSH to the server. Let's see, let's ping pds.freeborn.cloud. Okay. That's good. And we should already have that path mounted. Okay, that's good. And then I already set up the Nginx file, so let's cat that real quick. So that's already set up, I think, correctly. And I think the last thing for me to do is to actually try to get the service running. So I have a whole bunch of secrets that I need to set probably off screen. So let me do that real quick. All right, I'm gonna do this over here because I think a bunch of these things are secret things. Oh, should also update my doing. We are working on setting up a personal data server for the atproto network. Hey, what's up, Gun Highs? Nice to see you. I think these I can copy paste. I've read today's stream topic, like setting up PS5 Pro. I wish it was that much fun. I wish it was that much fun. Well, I guess, I mean, if you're a nerd like me, it is equal amounts of fun. But good morning, Lynx. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Alright, I need a password. I'm doing great. How are you? Yeah, life's good, man. I woke up. My nose is still a little stuffy, but a little better today. Slept good. Kids are healthy. Wife's healthy. Got a job. Have some money in the bank account, you know, food in the pantry, all those things. So life is good. I have it so much better than so many other people, you know, so try not to take that for granted. Okay, I need to make sure I have the right environment variables real quick. Yeah, PDS email from address. All right, so I think I have all my environment variables now set, so that's good. Unclick that. And so here's what my compose file looks like. Hello, caffeinated minds. How goes it? How goes it in the caffeinated world? All right, so we have our PDS. This is the thing that's gonna do the stuff to make things work. Then watchtowers just so that we can update this image Does that match what they have on their... Get their Docker compose file. Cleanup true schedule at midnight. Is that what I have? I'm missing the schedule. Okay, I think that's hopefully good enough. Let's go ahead and try to run this guy. So we'll do Docker compose up D. Busy in work with Terraform migration. Ooh, that sounds intense, man. What were you guys migrating from? Were you migrating to Terraform or failed to set up container? Port is, oh, I already have that port allocated? No way. Huh. 2, yes. Moving old Terra Grunt modules today mostly. Nice, nice. I've never written any Terraform code myself. Hey Inspire, how are you? I've been good, yeah, been good, man. I don't see a... Huh. Interesting. Docker compose up D. Try a different port. Driver failed to programming external connection on endpoint. Okay, so we just need to let's just switch the port, Steven, it'll be fine. Let's do 3737. It's a random. There we go. Okay, that means we need to actually change this guy. Oh, you know what, though? Docker. I want this to be always. All right, now let's see if it's actually running. Terraform's pretty easy. I don't know, man. That might be the curse of knowledge. I did take one workshop. I went to a conference this last spring in here in Kansas City. It was for DevOps days, and I took a course on a Terraform workshop. It was like a half-day workshop, and I don't know, man. I did not think it was necessarily easy, but I mean, what programming experience is easy when you first start, you know? Okay, that didn't work. All right, well, let's see what this thing's giving us. Docker. Yeah, I don't think it started. Docker, yes. Docker, let's just actually do down. Docker pose up. Failed to start. Cannot open database because the directory does not exist. Oh. Well, we can fix that. Let's see, data. And then make their data slash blocks. Like this. And let's peek one more time at the compose file. So the compose file is saying we're going to bind the source to PDS in the container. And then take a look at the environment variables real quick. Just make sure those are set properly. Yep, those are set properly. Okay. Let's try again. Docker compose down. Compose up. Like the PDS is starting, and it looks like it started. That's good. Now let's try to do the same thing. There we go. We got version back. Cool. So it's running. Now let's try to talk to it from the outside world. Try to go back over here. Yeah, it's also what you're exposed to every day for sure. Oh yeah, 100%, right? It's a muscle. All these things are a muscle, right? You use it, kind of use it or lose it type of situation. Hey, what's up, Bob Knoll? Haven't been up this early since winter. Well, I appreciate you waking up a little early, and I appreciate you stopping by the stream. Definitely don't feel the need to stick around, but good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Okay. So that, oh, I bet I didn't restart Nginx. Sudo Nginx -t. All right, now let's try it. There we go. So we can reach it from the outside. That's wonderful. And now what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to create our first account. So for this, we actually have to sudo into the, or we got to exe into the Docker container. So we'll do Docker exe PDS. What is it called? Yeah. We want to execute goat. Or actually, let's just go to dash IT PDS, and then we'll do bin bash like that. What about bin shell? There we go. Cool. And I think there's a tool in here called goat. Yep. So this is what we're going to use to do the admin creation. So I'm just going to create the first thing I want to do is I'm going to create a bot account just to test that everything works correctly. And then we'll try to look at migrating my Blue Sky account. So let's do goat PDS admin account create. And then we have to pass it a handle, which I'm just going to pass it stevesbot.freeborn.cloud. And then we have to pass it an email. This is Steve's streambot@gmail.com. Required flag password. Huh. I'm surprised it won't prompt me for a password. Okay, so I have to do that off screen. Give me 1 sec. Has Arvin shown up any? I hope he's okay. Yeah, he's actually been here quite a bit. Yeah, so, I mean, he seems like he's doing okay. He usually does bring up the war most of the time when he shows up. He's obviously... I can't criticize him because I know, like, it's obviously very close to home, right? So it's something that probably occupies a lot of his mental headspace. And I feel bad because I don't have much to say about it other than it's a shitty situation, you know? I definitely, I will say, of all the things that I thought would be happening, you know, over the last 2 years, is I did not think that the U.S. would be back involved in a war in the Middle East, you know. After basically, let's see, I was 8 when 9/11 happened, right? So basically my entire adult life, the U.S. was at war in the Middle East, and I thought after we pulled out of Afghanistan, that would kind of be, we kind of learned our lesson, but it does not seem like that is the case. But yeah, he seems to be doing good. Huh. Okay, so I tried to create an account. Obviously, I'm leaking a password here, but I tried to create an account that said API request failed, unsupported domain, not a supported handle domain. So, I don't know why that's the case. So we need to do, I guess, some reading of the docs. Unsupported handle domain. Huh. I wonder if because it has to be under the subdomain. War sucks no matter one's politics. Just hope things calm down soon. Yeah, I agree with you, Caffeinated Mind. War is hell. Yeah, war is hell. All right, so I'm kind of suspicious that I can't. I'm kind of suspicious I can't do this. I think it needs to be stevesbot.pds.freeborn.cloud. I think is what it needs to be. Let's try that. And then we're gonna do -- password. Need to regenerate one of those. Copy. Put that there. Nice. Okay, so we have our handle, first handle created. Let me go ahead and collect these details real quick. Let's see. We got handle. No, what is it? DID. We want the DID. DID. What's this? Okay. I'm gonna save this into my Bitwarden instance real quick. New login, PDS. This is going to be, username is, what did I say? Steve's bot.pds.freeborn.cloud. And then this was the DID. Save that. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and exit this guy. All right, so now what do we want to do? We need to publish a DNS record for the bot. But I actually think it needs to be this .pds. And then we need to verify that the handle resolves. Okay. So let's go to Cloudflare. Bob Knoll appearing on the stream is 100 plus to programming skills. Yeah. Pretty great. Hello, Alexander. Nice to see you. War is profitable, which is why countries have no qualms about starting them. Yeah, true that. And it's also because those who profit from them don't have to actually fight in them. If all members of Congress had to go fight in a war every time we started a war, there'd be less wars. or if members of the administration had to go fight in the war, there'd be less wars. People are always eager to send other people's sons and daughters to die, but they're not willing to do it themselves. That is unfortunately a sad reality of the world. Okay, what was I doing? I'm adding a... Okay, so we need add record. It's going to be a text record. Let me say atproto dot Steve's dot PDS, and then we have to do this. Probably should write some little script for this. Okay, and then we'll just give that a moment for the DNS to propagate. Do you plan your personal projects through Obsidian? Sometimes I do. I'm not super Alexandra. I'm not a super disciplined about it always. It's usually like rough outlines will be in here. This, I just took a whole bunch of notes yesterday when I was doing a bunch of reading on how to do migrations. I'll usually scribble down some stuff. I've been working on a newer application that I want to build called Hindsight, and like I'll usually just dump like kind of train of thought, you know, or a stream of consciousness into the note, but usually it's nothing like crazy detailed, you know. But I do like Obsidian. I think my favorite, I sync my Obsidian through Nextcloud. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I just use, there's a self-hosted plugin out there that I use for syncing stuff that works pretty good. My favorite functionality of Obsidian is the Excalidraw plugin. I love that there's a built-in plugin for Excalidraw. I use this a lot. Use it a lot. But yeah, I love the Obsidian. It's good stuff. I'm gonna start the coffee pot so we can make another cup. How does security go with Excalidraw? Does it store the drawing stuff locally? Yeah, they're just stored as JSON files in your vault. Yeah, so you can look at, I have an example of that. Yeah, they're just stored as JSON files. Or Excalidraw. They're .excalidraw, but it's just JSON. If you open one of those up, it's just a JSON, serialized structure of the document. All right, I think that's enough time. Let's see if the handle can resolve now. So we got to do back into the Docker container. We are going to run, what are we going to run? We're going to run goat did resolve handle. And it's going to be stevesbot.pds.freeborn.cloud. Is that even a thing? Goat. There we go, resolve. Just resolve to DID. So goat resolve and at identifier. Hey, looky there. Okay. So let's try to, I guess, use that to sign up for a Blue Sky account, yeah? See if that works. Oh, actually, let's do Control-Shift-New. Blue Sky. You are creating an account on Blue Sky Social. Custom. Server address is pds.freeborn.cloud. Invite code. Okay, so I have to generate one of those. This is going to be Steve's streambot@gmail.com. I have to generate a password. Shouldn't show you guys that. My date of birth. Okay, so I have to generate an invite code. And I'm pretty sure I do that in here. Admin, I think maybe admin has a command for this. Maybe? Yeah, create invite. So we need to generate one of these invite codes. So goat PDS admin -- no, create invites. Okay, copy that guy. says choose my username. Hold on. Maybe I should be able just to sign in. Let's try that. PDS. Okay, so my handle would be what? It would be stevesbot.pds.freeborn.cloud. And then the password would be PDS. Hey, it worked. I think it worked. Hold on. It worked. That's awesome. All right, I think I have this bot picture somewhere. Where is this bot picture? What's the upside of having your own PDS? It's just that way the data that you upload to the atmosphere is you hold it, and so you can take it wherever you want. And you can do whatever you want with it. It's basically just like the difference between using your own virtual private server to host anything else, you know, or your own server to host anything else. Is just the benefit of your data is stored on your stuff. So it kind of gives you ultimate ownership and control over it. You don't have to, though. A lot of people just host through Blue Sky. There's a lot of also self-hosted instances out there that you can use instead of the Blue Sky host. So it's really just if you want to type of thing. Okay. What I want to do now, I guess what I'd like to do is maybe post something. Hello, Blue Sky. Cool. And then let's go to the atproto explorer. So this would be Steve's bot dot. There we go. Nice. Cool. It's all working. That means the biggest thing I was worried about was just the networking of all of it, you know, from my server to being able to see everybody else. But it looks like it's working. So let's go ahead and clear this. Let's exit that. Let's do a little exploration of what we have on our local disk. So it looks like we have a SQLite database for the account. Sequencer, I'm not sure what that is. Let's see, actors. 44, what's that? Interesting. I guess let's see what's in that. Curious. Is that where the data for each individual... Oh no, it's not. That's the wrong command. Sorry. We want tables. Or... What is it? Yeah, I thought it was dot tables. Dot tables. Huh. Error. Attempt to write to a read-only database. There we go. Huh, nice. Okay, cool. This is really cool. All right. Go ahead and exit. Whoops. Okay. So the real nasty part of this though is migrating my account. So that's the part that I'm not totally confident at just yet. But now at least I know that this works to some extent, right? The question is how brave do I feel to do the migration? Let's see. So what we need to do is we basically need to set up a new account for myself on this PDS. And then I need to run this account. Or sorry, run this command. If it goes well, the new account will be created, content will be migrated, identity and account status will be synchronized. Okay. Okay. Let's see, blue sky. We can delete this. Yes. Hey, what's up, Rockin' Brain? Nice to see you, man. How you doing? Oh, I forgot about my coffee. I was gonna make another cup of coffee and I forgot about it. The one question I have is how do you keep your old handle? Blue sky, migration, keep old handle. So I'd like to not have to change my. I wonder if we could try to change the bot's handle first. See, it's always going to try to resolve the handle. If you have your own domain, you can use that as your handle. This lets you self-verify your identity. I have my own domain. Yes, I have my own domain. Okay, so if I was to go back to Cloudflare and I was to add this. Whoops. And I was to do Steve's bot. Save that. This would be Steve's bot.freeborn.cloud. Guess we'll give that a minute. Man, that's exciting that worked. I'm surprised. I thought I was going to have way more trouble with the networking side of things, but it just worked. Oh, whoops, I actually did not create the DNS record correctly. Okay, now try. Hello, Ilmanian. Not new, not necessarily new. We've had the coffee cam now for a few months, but a newer, I guess, newer addition to the stream. But good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Okay. Pretty sure. All right, we'll give that a. We'll let that sit there and give it a minute. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, having to use a handle like this isn't terrible. But man, it sure would look a lot cleaner if we could get rid of that subdomain. I don't think that they have to be tied together though. Let's try uploading a picture. Make sure blobs get stored correctly. Yeah, it seems like it worked. Okay, let's look and see if there's blobs now in there. Yep. There you go. All right, well, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's try to verify the new handle again. Huh. Oh, so what's the request it's making? Unable to resolve handle. So it's actually calling out to my server. Which I guess makes sense because there's no handle on my server that has that. It's been at least a few weeks since I watched your stream. No worries. Yeah, no worries. Come and go as you please, man. There's no pressure to show up. I'll be here, but no pressure for you to show up. All right, so there must be some I guess let's do blue sky handles. Always must be subdomain of PDS domain. Okay. So this looks like this person did exactly what I want to do. Now, how old is this? This is kind of old. It's kind of old. Let's not do this in this window. There we go. That's better. Are you a Christian, Steven? I am. I am a Christian. You must rewatch the last 3 months of odds. Hello, Minister Defense. Good to see you, man. No, you must pay for your... It's like in the Catholic Church. It's like you must say your 10 Hail Marys. You must watch your 3 VODs, 3 months of VODs. Leave a comment on every video I've posted since you last attended the stream. Protestant or Catholic? Protestant, yeah. I grew up in a Methodist church. Okay, so that's just talking about setting up the server. They registered a domain. Yeah. Your SSH session will close while the VM reboots. Okay, for the handle, it says enter anything for now like temp, okay? Configure the domain name as your handle. Okay. If you have any issues via the UI, try the API directly. Point your domain to your Blue Sky profile. Let's see, no, even though PDS and resolve to the same IP address, they are used for different purposes. We want psky demo to redirect to the profile, as is the most user-friendly URL. So we need a different URL to access the PDS. Okay, that's fine, but how did you... Oh, so they updated the handle on the... Huh. Well, it seems like it should be pretty straightforward to switch the thing, so I'm not sure why... I'm not sure why it's not working. Let's make sure I have the right value. Yeah, I have the right value. Oh, it's Steven, yeah, freeborn.cloud. Yeah, I think there's something I don't understand about how... There's something about how this works that I don't understand. Resolve handle. I'm betting... What if I do? Yeah, so that resolves it. So I guess I'm looking for an answer that I don't know how to get. I'm looking for an answer to a question that I don't know how to get. The question is, if my PDS is hosted at watching 3 months of Steven VODs is hardly punishment, you're getting 3 months of top tier entertainment. I don't know if it's top tier entertainment, but let's see questions. Open questions is, if my PDS is hosted at pds.freeborn.cloud, but I want to have handles that are custom at say instead of stevesbot.pds.freeborn.cloud, we use stevesbot.freeborn.cloud. Now, see, I tried to add the account. Using this. I wonder. Let's go back over here. Let's Docker into the container, or exe into the container. Let's do goat pds admin -- help. Let's do admin account -- help. Enumerate accounts, take down a single account, update account auth info, generate new password, create a new, okay. Let's do goat PDS admin account update -- help. Okay, I wonder how you identify the account. Maybe with the DID? I mean, the worst thing that can happen is I screw this up and I just have to start over. So we'll do that. Let's do -- handle. And let's say I want to try to move that to stevesbot.freeborn.cloud. Okay, so that updated the handle. So it wouldn't let me add the account with that handle though, which is interesting. So let's try to verify this again. Oh, huh. And now it's saying invalid handle. Huh. Very interesting. Let's try to log out. We'll try to sign out. Sign in. Couldn't find an account with that username. I don't remember what the password is. Okay, I don't know. I wonder why it's displaying that. Invalid handle. It's almost like it let me do something that I shouldn't have been able to do, maybe. Could not locate record self. Could not locate record at. Is it potentially, it takes a minute for it to update maybe? Yeah, no, I can't find it anymore. Huh. Okay. Let's see if I can put things back to where it works. We updated the handle. I'll have to do some research about that, because that's one thing I know I'm going to need to do for my own personal account, is I need to basically be able to migrate from I need to be able to migrate from a handle like this back to my StephenFreeborn.com handle. So I need to figure out how that's done. Yeah, now it works. Huh. Okay, interesting. Johnny, how are you hosting the PDS R2 Cloudflare? Pretty unfamiliar with atproto. Yeah, me too. I'm very unfamiliar with atproto as well. Why is there a timer above the chat? I've been using Pomodoro timer on stream just to kind of help balance chatting and actually getting stuff done. But yeah, Johnny, I'm pretty unfamiliar with atproto as well. I'm kind of beginning my journey down the atproto rabbit hole. And the first thing I wanted to do was set up a personal data server. For hosting, I'm using my own server, and very rudimentary setup. I have Cloudflare that proxies to a web server running Nginx, and then Nginx proxies to the actual PDS that's running a container. I'm just storing the data on disk, and then I'm gonna have just a cron job that backs up the data, probably nightly, to a TrueNAS data set that's mounted to the server. And that'll be my rudimentary setup. Okay. I'm not sure where to go from here on this. I do know we do need to understand. So this directory here needs to be backed up. But the SQLite databases obviously are being used. And they're in wall mode. So I think I'm going to have to write like a shell script that... I've done this for git too. Let's see if I can find that. So we're going to need to do something like this. Oh, that's actually using git to dump. So it's not the same. So there's a command. Let's go in here. There's a command for what is it? SQLite create backup. Okay, so let's just say we want to back up this account.sqlite. We should be able to run something like this. SQLite 3 data count. And then let's put that in a backups. And we'll say it's called account.sqlite. Yeah, that's fine. Missing file name oh. This. Yeah, I can't. That's what I was afraid of because it's actually mounted into the container. What if I do... We got SQLite in here. I guess I could have a job that starts like nightly, stops the container, backs everything up, and then... Okay, I'm gonna have to figure this out. What's the right way to back up? What is the right way to back up? The data directory. I mean, is it crazy just to like copy the whole directory and there's got to be other people who have come up with a solution for it. Let's see. Blue sky, invalid handle. Yeah, rsync from Docker. Yeah, something. It's. I'm gonna have to do some because I think I don't think. Well, I guess it doesn't make sense that I can't open. Backups. Well, hold on. Maybe the reason that was having a problem is because how do I exit? .exit? Yeah, there we go. Let's try to run that command again. We'll throw a little sudo in front of it. Yeah, I can't open it. Because I think, but it's interesting because if I do SQLite this, okay, so what if I run that command inside? Cannot open. Is it because that, oh, maybe it's because the directory doesn't exist. I wasn't reading that error message. There we go. So maybe I can just loop over them all and Okay. Yeah, so that would work. Why can I not figure out how to exit SQLite? Okay, so let's do this real quick. Let's dump the data folder. Okay. So here's the structure. We need to... So basically, we need to iterate over anything with SQLite extension, run the backup command, and we'll just dump that in a backups folder, and then we'll copy. Well, actually what we'll do is we'll dump that in a backups folder here. So what we'll do is we'll do remove backups. Yeah, I'm sure. And instead what we'll do is when we run that same command, we will dump it here. And we'll probably like maybe timestamp it. And this is my TrueNAS. This is my TrueNAS data set. Yeah, and then let's rerun SQLite 3. Look at this. But instead of that, we'll say put it here. Okay. Database is locked. Okay, so that's not... Why do we get that error when we try to go here with it? Error database is locked. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some thinking on this. Okay, what if I do... Okay. Same commands. And then mv account.sqlite to mount PDS/backups. Okay, maybe that's what we do. maker sudo vim backup.sh. Okay, so what do we need to do? Let's see. We need to create a backups directory in current folder. We need to create backups of each SQLite 3 database in the data directory. We need to create backups of the data/blocks directory. Mirror the directory structure. Move the backup directory to mount/PDS. So I think theoretically then what we'd be able to do is if something were to happen for whatever reason, we should be able to just restore that data directory from the backup. Is what I think we should be able to do. All right, so that answers that question. I'm really not sure about the pds.freeborn.cloud issue. It seems like you should be able to blue sky invalid domain custom. You know, because it should work the same way. Like, for example, if we look at my blue sky handle. Oops. If we look at mine, right? I have a custom domain, but I'm hosted on Blue Sky's PDS info. See, so I'm hosted here. This is the PDS URL. Break time. I'm just gonna sit here and drink coffee and look at the news. Hey, what's up, Kale? How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, I'm doing good. We've had good success this morning. We got our PDS set up. We got our first account created, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is I need to migrate my account. So, but yeah, it's been a win. Yes, nice indeed. I thought I was gonna have a hard time getting it to work, but it just worked. This is the first account I created. Are all of these supposed to be airing out, I wonder? Let's look. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not working as great as I... I spelled my name wrong. Oh no, they have issues too. Okay. And I think these I just need to be indexed for the fire hose to work. So I'll keep an eye on that. But the blue sky relay works, so that's good. Alright, so let's look at the PDS setups, see if those differ in any ways. Okay, so their domain is bluesky.social. And the PDS URL is this. So I wonder how they got that. See, because if you look at my setup, my domains are this. So I want the PDS URL to still be pds.freeborn.cloud, but I want the domains to be freeborn.cloud. So maybe there's something in the environment variables. Must be something I haven't configured correctly. Okay, domain names. Here we go. You will need separate domain names for your PDS hosting in your app. In other words, if you have an app at this, you should not use as a PDS host name. You should use something like... Okay. It's fine. That didn't have any helpful information. Let's look at the environment variables. So this is where you set the host name. Hey, what's up, Atella Labs? How are you doing? We did, I think, most of the hairy bits before you got here, but so far it's worked good. So far we've had success. We've just got one issue that we're trying to resolve now around how user account handles are resolved, or how to create user accounts with the actual handles we want them to have. That's the thing we're working on right now. Wonder if they have a Discord. Do they have a Discord? Or somewhere I can ask questions? See if anybody responds to that. Follow my own bot, obviously. You been good? Good, man. I'm glad. How are you storing them? The user accounts? So we use a implementation from Blue Sky. So the personal data server is where you store user identity and related data for the individual user. And so there's a few different implementations of the app protocol personal data server spec. There's an implementation by Blue Sky, then there's a bunch of community implementations. And so I'm just running the Blue Sky implementation as a Docker container on my own server. So all of the data is stored here in this data directory, and it's just persisted to SQLite databases on disk, and then the like images or videos or pictures that you upload, those are stored as blobs in this blocks directory, I believe. I could have made a, or anything I say about atproto could be wrong because I'm a complete noob, but that's my understanding at the moment. Yeah. So I wonder if these need to be separate. Do I need another domain? Maybe. But somehow they got theirs to work. Somehow they have domains this attached to a PDS URL that's this. And mine is not that. Mine is... Mine is, mine looks like this. But I'm super excited about this because I think the thing that's the most exciting about atproto in general is basically it kind of turns the way we look at applications on its head, where typically you can kind of think of applications as like boxes, right? Like typically the app model is like you have an app over here with data in it, and then you have an app over here with data in it, right? And these apps it's your data, but it's isolated, it's siloed. And the exciting thing about atproto is it kind of turns the model on its head, where instead of having boxes, you sort of have your data lives here, and then applications, right, just look at your data and provide a lens into that data, right? So this might be, I don't know, this could be Blue Sky. Whoops. This could be Blue Sky. And this could be Stream Place. But they're all looking at the same data repository, which is kind of cool. So it kind of flips the traditional idea of how people build applications around. And that's really nice for a user, because then if you want to start somewhere new, if you say, hey, I don't want to be over here on Blue Sky anymore, I want to go start someplace on another thing, you've still got all that content that goes with you. I think Dan Avramov called it, what did he call it? He called it, I think he said lenses, apps are lenses instead of boxes, or something like that is how he put it in his blog post. Nonetheless, I'm stumped at the moment. I don't know how to get this. This somehow needs to say freeborn.cloud. So there's my host name. So what does your return? Okay, that's your host name, but where does your domain come from? BS guy. Nope, it's not in there. Describe server. There we go. Available user domains. There we go. So this is called describe server as the endpoint. Okay, so that helps. So let's do a Google search for that. Available user domains. Atproto personal data server. Hey, what's up, Larzanya? Atella Labs OIC, kind of like a self-hosted account, but the user verifies. It's like a Fediverse or a newsletter. Yeah, exactly. It's federation. Yeah, it's decentralized, federated protocol. Very similar to ActivityPub, but not quite. Not quite. ActivityPub is kind of trying to achieve a similar idea though, but less. I think it's less useful. I like atproto's implementation, where particularly their implementation when it comes to individual identity and the account related to individual identities. It's also super nice for app developers if you think about it, because if you're a developer who's going to develop something for the app protocol, when you launch your app on day one, you actually have an existing user base because everyone's identity is the same across the atmosphere. So if you have one identity on Blue Sky is the same as your identity on Pocket Blog, is the same as your identity on Streamplace, right? So you can theoretically build an app, and not only do you have plenty of publicly available data because everything on the atmosphere is public data, you can also access an existing user base basically on day one for whatever it is you're building. I should also mention that they did recently introduce an alpha for permission data, because that's probably something that a lot of people, if you're brand new to app protocol, that might seem weird about it, is all of the data that you post is public, right? So like if I go to my anybody can come here and look, right, and look up my handle and can see all this data. So it's all public data. And they just recently introduced the idea of permission data, which I think will hopefully be something they introduce in a production environment. It's in alpha state right now, so hopefully eventually they'll get it to production, but that should allow people to build like gate-kept experiences, like if you want to have a newsletter, a subscriber-based newsletter, or if you want to have like, you know, specific community-only type of experiences. Hopefully people will be able to build those with that API. I don't know. I just like the idea behind this, right? And so I want to try to support it by using it and building with it, because I think this is a better vision for social experiences on the web than what currently exists, in my opinion. It's going good, Bradley. Yeah, it's going good, man. It's going good. All right, I don't know. I guess one thing we could do is we could actually dig through the source code and see where that's used. That's always one option. Basically see how that gets populated. That sounded scary. I'm gonna use this for your capstone? Do it, man. Do it. Okay. We are looking for available user domains. That's not used anywhere. Oh, cool. They have a self-hosted, they have a monitoring stack for the PDS. That's cool. I might try to set this up too. Very cool. All right, so this is obvious. This is not the source code for the actual server implementation. So how do we get that? Here's our Docker file. We're getting goat. Build app, copy from build. Atproto PDS. Okay. Created get atproto PDS. Okay, let's try to find that repo. Atproto. Oh, is it really 620 already? Holy shit, man, that went fast. Wonder how large this thing is. Okay, the question is, where does that data originate from? That's the question I'm trying to answer, is where does this data originate from? Available user domains. Supported domain. Ensure handle service constraints. It looks like that's being derived from the actual account. There's where that error came from. When we tried to add, that's where it... Okay. Verify constraints on the service domain. Else, when creating an account, require that the handle to be a local service domain. Updating to a custom handle will be possible once the account was created. Verify resolution on a non-service domain. This should use a distinct error code. Interesting. Okay, interesting. Let's do docker exe. Steve's bot.pds.freeborn.cloud. Okay. Which is good. That's good. Yeah, okay. Interesting. So it doesn't look like that's anything that's configured. It looks like that's let's see. In my job is heavy AI usage. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. I feel like I'm getting dumber and losing my skills. The obvious answer is make time and build stuff, but I find it extremely demotivating not using my brain all day. It's also tiring for whatever reason. Yeah, AI usage is a weird experience, because when you're using it, you feel like you're Superman. You know what I mean? Because everything is so much faster to do. But if you use it for any length of period of time, I also will share the experience that I do feel like there is some atrophy of my abilities, right? But then when you switch back to trying to do things manually, you kind of feel like a Luddite, because everything feels so slow. Like you feel like, oh my God, why, and so you're in this weird catch-22 where it's almost like you don't want to do things manually because you can do it faster with AI, but then you use AI and that makes you feel like you're getting dumber or less capable. Maybe dumber is not the right word, but you're losing some competency. And so it's like this vicious... But yeah, exactly. Slowness is what that friction of doing things yourself is what develops those neural pathways and helps you feel competent, like you know what you're doing. But then at the same time, now that you know AI is out there, there's like this itch in the back of your brain that's like, oh, I could just ask Copilot, or I could just ask, you know, Cursor, whatever your favorite agent is. I could just ask them to make this, and it would, you know, it would take 5 minutes for them to generate all the code. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's very much, to me, it's very much goes back to that conversation of like, do you take the elevator or do you take the stairs, right? And in your daily life, it's like the elevator is very efficient, and sometimes you just need to get up the flights of stairs as quickly as possible because you're running behind. But it's probably more often than not better for you to take the stairs, because you need the extra steps in your day, because we live in a sedentary society. And so, I don't know, it's definitely this pull in both directions where I'm not really sure what the right answer is. Last month I used 20% of my Copilot tokens, was asked why so little usage. Dude, I'm sorry, man. I have so much sympathy for those of you who are in that environment. I have yet to experience that. You know, knock on wood, hopefully that's not something that ever comes to my workplace, but I think using tokens, like monitoring someone's token usage, is just dumb. Like, they should be monitoring your work output. Like, are you doing your job, and are you doing your job well, and are you meeting deadlines and all that stuff? That's what they should care about. If you want to do the work yourself and not use AI as much, it seems like it shouldn't matter, in my opinion. It's like, as long as the work is good and the work is done, who cares necessarily who's, you know, if you're doing it or if you're using AI to do it. But I feel you. That's why I don't use AI a ton when I do personal projects, is because I don't like the feeling I have after I use it for an extended period of time. I feel like I'm losing something. And a lot of people tell me that's a skill issue, but that's where I'm at. You know, that's where I'm at with it. Is it finished yet? We don't know what we're doing yet. Those things are not equivalent. They are not equivalent. You're right. It's a weird world, man. It's a weird time. Hopefully, I think my greatest hope would be, I guess my idealized picture of where all this ends up is, in the future, let's look forward like 10 years or 20 years. My hope would be that LLMs become this tool that is relatively ubiquitous in terms of its availability locally on your machine, that you don't necessarily have to pay a subscription fee to use the tool, and that tool is sort of embedded on any computer that you're working with, and it sort of is a tool that sits alongside your other typical developer tools like an IDE or a compiler, and that it just becomes less of like this all-encompassing eating the world type of scenario, and it falls back into this place of like, people and humans are still in the driver's seat and are still the ones doing the work, and you have the choice of if you want to use that tool and when you want to use it, and no one's kind of shoving it down your throat. How did you start out? You work a job, have a family, make time to do this stuff. Do you think streaming has held you more accountable in that sense? I think streaming helps. Yeah, I think streaming helps. But I've just always done it. You know what I mean? Like, for the last 6 years or so, you know, every day I've spent like 2 to 4 hours or more doing something with technology and programming and coding. It's just become kind of a hobby. You know, it's not only something I love to do professionally, but it's also been a big personal passion. Streaming kind of started out of that, where I kind of got to this point where I'm like, well, I'm sitting at the computer doing this stuff anyways. Let me just turn the camera on, right? And that's where a lot of the streaming stuff came from. Like, it started because of Advent of Code. I wanted to do Advent of Code in 2024, and so I just started turning the camera on while I was working on it and just kept doing that. Tookie, you need to maximize efficiency and reduce cost to a desired output. The tokens are unlimited in my work. I noticed people renaming files with Copilot. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. I mean, but what's funny, Tookie, is I think that's what, like, the bullish AI people, that's what they want. They want people like, use tokens to rename files, or use tokens to do everything, essentially, right? Obviously, because they're the ones profiting from selling the tokens. But yeah, like I said, I'm fortunate in the sense that I haven't yet had anybody try to shove using AI to do my work down my throat. My job is still very much like, hey, here's what we want to get done. We just need to make sure we get it done. No one's being prescriptive about whether or not you're using AI to do it. So I feel for people that aren't in that position. Most people I've seen are all or nothing with AI, have not seen much middle ground yet. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. I mean, most of the people I work with, I don't hear them talk about using AI much, nor do they like offer that up as part of their workflows. I mean, I think the thing with AI is it's kind of addictive. I mean, maybe you guys disagree, but using an LLM to do stuff is addictive. Like, takes the, like, especially for writing or authoring code, like, it removes. Yeah. Okay. So Bob agrees with it, which is kind of nice to hear Bob agree. Also, Bob, thank you for being a member after all this time, man. Appreciate that. But yeah, it's just like super addictive, and it becomes really hard to not use it because you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, I need to do XYZ thing. And you're like, oh, I know Copilot could get me like 85% of the way there. Let me just ask Copilot, right? Or writing is another good example where you're like, man, I'd really like to share what I've done with other people. Or let me just see I have Copilot run a draft of what I'm thinking, right? And it just dumps out all this text, and you're like, great. So it becomes really addictive because it removes that friction. It helps you overcome the blank page problem, which is the most uncomfortable part of any type of intellectual work, is when you're staring at a blank canvas. But the thing is, all that friction that you're avoiding is the value of doing that type of work. Like, the friction of having to think through what your own thoughts are is what develops, like, your taste and your opinions. And your knowledge. It's a real catch-22. We implement the night shift with multiple agents. I review a lot of the code produced in the previous night. My morning is a pain in the ass to review many PRs. Wonderful. That sounds like the worst way to start your day, is with a ton of AI coded PR reviews. But maybe that's the future of the profession. I have no idea where any of this is going. I just know what my own personal experiences are, and I don't have a good answer to any of it. I mean, my only good answer at this moment is don't stop finding time to do the work myself. That's the only answer I have, is like, continue to try to make time to do things on my own daily. That's my own. And I know that's a shitty answer, because who wants to, it's basically like saying, you know how you need to make sure you make time to work out physically? Well, now you need to make sure you need to make time to work out mentally. Who wants to hear that, and who wants to do that? I don't think anybody. I think, yes, it can be addictive. It's the path of least resistance most of the time. It is. It's you're sitting at your desk. Again, it's like going back to that same analogy. You're sitting at your desk, and you can take the elevator or you can take the stairs. And goddamn, that elevator, man, it's just, God, it's so nice. I don't want to get sweaty. I don't want my thighs to burn. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to deal with any of that discomfort. And the problem is that before LLMs, that choice never existed, right? You couldn't, if you sat down at the computer and you wanted to build something, there was only one path, and it was through the pain. You had to deal with the friction, and you had to work through it. And now you're presented with that choice every time you sit down at your computer, it's very hard to opt for the stairs. Yeah, elevator away. Yeah, exactly. It's I'm miswriting code and producing natural bugs. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that what happens when you produce bugs yourself is, I think that's the whole thing with tutorial hell, right? Is like, I think far more times I've learned more from fixing issues than I did necessarily building the whole thing, right? It's that problem solving aspect of like, why isn't that working? And oh, that's why, it's like, that's the experiences where you learn a lot. And to some extent, I have a little bit of frustration because it feels a little bit like, I don't know, I don't want to throw shade at people, but it feels a little bit like those people who got into the tech industry before LLMs were a thing. It feels a little bit like they're pulling the ladder up behind them, because none of them got to where they are by using AI. All of them got to the level of proficiency and skill that they have by having to sit at the computer and work at their craft and to solve problems and to dig in and figure shit out. And so part of me thinks how unfair it is to then tell the next generation that you need to use AI, and how do we know that path is going to lead to the same level of competency and ability? We don't, honestly, we don't know if it's going to. And so there is a little bit of, I have a little bit of not resentment, or it's not even really anger, maybe skepticism is the right word, where when I hear people like Theo, or even people like David Fowler, Scott Hanselman, Mark Rusunovich, even some of these people who are like stalwarts in the industry, DHH, I'm like, none of you people, none of you guys used LLM to get the level of competency and skill that you have. And are you robbing the next generation of achieving the same thing because you're pressuring them and PRing the use of AI to them? I could be completely wrong, but that's where I'm at with it. Hey, Yashkin Code, good to see you, man. I've tried several tutorials and doesn't have any of the Happy Pass mention on it. I don't know, tutorials to me always seem to be Happy Pass, and then you don't learn anything. Yeah, many PRs I review are slop, and I need half a day just to understand what the hell is going on. Then I get pressure to be reviewing PRs. That does not sound fun, man. Yeah, that does not sound fun. And I don't know, maybe my issue is just that this is what it looks like when you move from one layer of abstraction to the next in a technology, and I've just never experienced that. Like, maybe this is what it was like when people moved from assembly to C and started using compilers. Like, maybe I sound just like the assembly guy saying, well, how are the next generation of computer programmers going to be as good as the prior one, because they're not going to understand how the code runs on the, how the machine code works. I get, but yeah, I don't know. I'd much rather be competent and capable than a great user of AI. And if that means I end up falling out of the professional working class of developers or engineers, I guess so be it. All right, I think I'm wrapping up. I think I call this a success. We got our PDS set up. We got our first account created. I need to figure out some of this. I need to figure out backing up the data. And I also need to figure out why this doesn't work, which likely will take some research. The other one is when a developer showcases something they made with AI, nothing but prompts, and the non-tech people pile on, oh, great job, amazing work, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's the see, Johnny, Bradley, that's the crafts person in you. You know, that's the person who cares about the underlying work, right? You know, you can appreciate the complexity and which exists in every industry. You know, that exists everywhere. Like so many objects we use every day, none of us appreciate how much skill and craft went into it, and that's tough. That's tough because the problem with software and computer engineering or software engineering is this didn't used to be possible. It didn't used to be possible to create a piece of software and then parade it around as your own. Like you used to have to actually there was no other way to build software besides actually building the software, you know. Now that's not really the case. People can sort of take credit for their agent's work. I don't know. I don't have any good answers about it at all. I'm just trying to stay enthusiastic about learning more about building software and having fun doing it and keep making money and keep saving it and invest in it, and hopefully at someday I will be able to not worry about doing work in a way that other people want me to do it. Yeah, anything I build with AI, I don't want to put my name on it. Anything I've asked an agent to generate, I'm not going to claim it for myself, right? Like and I think that's why it's largely why you guys don't see me building stuff with AI on my YouTube channel or on stream, is because it feels disingenuous to ask Copilot or Claude or whoever to build something and then me be like, oh, look how great of a developer, or look how good of an engineer I am, look at what I built. It's like, was that really me or was it the agent? I don't fucking know. Like so I don't, and maybe that's just a me problem. Maybe I need to get over that, but at this point I can't get over it. I can't get over it. I can't take credit for it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go upstairs and see my wife, give her a big old kiss. I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. I hope you have a great start to your week. Bradley, I hope your Monday went great, and I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, and hopefully I'll see some of you guys back tomorrow morning. Oh, sorry, Vic. I saw I had somebody, I'm sorry, Vic. Somebody was chatting over on stream.place. I'm sorry, Vic. I forgot to monitor stream.place chat again. Promise I'll develop that habit better. Thank you for stopping on the stream. All right. See you, Larzanya. See you, man. Bye, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.